received my undergrad degree in 2003 and was very fortunate to receive a job opportunity within the Taylor Public School District, teaching third grade that very fall. I was so excited to launch my teaching career. Times were different back then, though, and technology wasn't even close to as being as advanced as it is today. Looking back at my classroom in 2003, there wasn't any technology evident, not even a telephone. Seriously. There were no computers anywhere. I didn't even have a work email to communicate with people. Grades were kept in a grade book, one in which where I had to calculate the scores by hand using a calculator. The office communicated with you over a loudspeaker, which always caused for an interruption in my class. And to communicate with the teacher or parent, you either sent a note to them or you met in person. And report cards, they were done by hand. There was only one overhead projector per grade level, and that was quite a task to get in contact with one. Back then, though, that's the way things were. Everything just seemed to work out fine. The very next school year, I received an opportunity to teach 7th grade language arts for Monroe Public Schools. Things, technology-wise, were a little bit different, and it took me a little while to get used to everything. My classroom had 3 computers in it. I had my own computer, and there were 2 student computers. On my computer, I was able to keep a computerized grade book using the software program GradeQuick, where I was able to post grades and even print out our report cards. Talk about heaven. I had my own personal email, and when somebody wanted something, all you had to do was send an email or just pick up the phone and call because, believe it or not, we had phones in our classroom too. Students even had access to a computer lab in the library and also had access to the World Wide Web, which was definitely unheard of in Taylor. I didn't know much about technology at the time, but things ran much more smoothly, and my life seemed to be a little bit easier, even though things were still a little bit basic. 4 years later, I decided to venture out and was hired as a media specialist in Dearborn Heights. I applied for this position and thought I knew the ins and outs of technology. Boy, was I wrong. First off, my classroom had 31 brand new PCs, a smartboard, a projector, students' response system, multi-line telephone, and an Elmo. I was scared to death, as I had little or no experience with most of these things. I then thought I would learn a thing or two, and I attended my first professional development meeting before school started. However, this wound up being a refresher course on Web 2.0. Web what? Talk about overwhelming. Turns out, I knew nothing about technology and was scared to death. But in the last year and a half, I have learned so much about all the advancements in technology. I was introduced to Skype and now use it regularly to communicate with my mom and other family members. I've built my own webpage that my students now use on a daily basis. Using this webpage, students are even able to access their daily assignments and lessons that I'm giving. I test my students using various computer programs such as NWEA and Accelerated Reader. I've taught my students to use class chatter, to blog and communicate with one another. I'm working on teaching them to post their work to the actual blog. Prior to teaching here, I had zero clue what a blog even was. I now teach a 5th grade mystery unit using an online classroom management system called Moodle. Google Docs has become a tool I use daily for just about everything. I network with a pretty large social group of friends on Facebook. I am learning how to build my own wiki. I even produce my school's morning news over every TV in our school each day. And yes, believe it or not, every classroom is equipped with a television. The list goes on. And I went from knowing nothing about technology to teaching students how to use it every single day. I feel as if I've grown so much as a teacher and as a person, and am incredibly confident in myself when it comes to utilizing any form, pretty much, of technology. I'm actually called upon now to teach new forms of technology that I learn to all of my peers. If you would have told me in 2003 that I would be this technologically advanced today, I would have laughed, as back then I swore I was not ever going to use or need computers or technology, that I was happy the way things were. Today, I can't imagine my life without it.